Alright, today we're going to be playing Call of Cthulhu. It's a cosmic horror game. Anybody who knows anything about H.P. Lovecraft knows, about Cthulhu. So we're going to dive in here. I played a little bit, but I haven't played enough to really know what's going on, really. So what I'm thinking is we just dive right in. If I am mad at his mercy, may the gods pity the man who is his callousness can remain sane to the hideous end. H.P. Lovecraft. Looks like we got some raspberry jam. I apologize, Pete. I'm babysitting my kids at the same time as doing this. It's difficult. Somebody like Shark. I can run, yay. Cannot go back. Alright, so. And I can lean. Alright, so. Lean. Alright. Toggle crouch. Can't get through there, so we're going this way. I've always kind of liked H.P. Lovecraft. I'm very much into, cosmic horror in general. Okay, we're rumbling. Why are we rumbling? What happens if I just kind of... Oh, okay, you can't walk off. You can only crouch, can't jump. Alright. I guess there's really not very much there, so I'm gonna go over here. Alright, got some bolt cutters. you can't cut. Something's been,
What a putrid offering.
wells and stuff like that.
Fight. You have been chosen. Behold. Everything has already been written. But perhaps you will attempt to change your destiny.
Man.
I hate whiskey.
All right, so. Trying to juggle too many things. So, Nightmare.
I wonder why I still take these things.
Sleeping pills. Doctor prescribed them. I returned from the war. If I came back from war, I'd probably take them too.
Been too long since I've slept in a bed. Been a while since I jotted down something other than my nightmares.
Alright. Let's kind of sort of turn that off.
I should get rid of all this stuff. Natural sciences, linguistics, archaeology. A good old story of blackmail in a speakeasy. Married woman runs off with her girlfriend. The husband couldn't understand it.
Well, you know.
The Wentworth Agency doesn't attract top-notch cases. I used to be an avid reader. I'm listening.
Are you Edward Pierce, private investigator contracted by the Wentworth Detective Agency?
That's correct.
Hello, Mr. Pierce. I'm Lucy Sherrifield, in charge of investigators over at Wentworth. I'm calling because of a problem with your file. A fire has destroyed some of our documents.
Is that right?
I'm so very sorry, but I have to collect your personal information yet again.
Alright, looks like we gotta get some points in here. Got 8 CP, so eloquence represents your ability to influence those you talk to. Represents your ability to find hidden objects. That might be something to work on. Psychology, of course, you know, knowledge of human behavior. Occultism, knowledge of the occult. Medicine, medical knowledge. Strength, obviously, is physical power. Investigation, obviously, it deals with investigative talents. So, yeah. Alright. So, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, there's 7. I have 8 points. So if I gave everything 1 point and then gave 1 more point to something else, that would be interesting. But what I think is I'm going to do this. Occultism, medicine, spot hidden, investigation, psychology, and of course, you know, that. So
thank you for this information, Mr. Pierce. Our files will still be up to date. And on a related matter, may I raise a sensitive question?
What's wrong?
As you know, we wish to closely monitor the progress of our contractors. And it would seem you've been accepting fewer new cases.
Work is scarce.
Mr. Pierce, you know as well as I do, there's never been more investigative work than now.
But are those cases worth it?
They're worth not losing your license. Show yourself worthy of the Wentworth Detective Agency, and we might keep you on the payroll. Mr. Pierce, do you still...
yeah, that's probably what I would do too.
I'm coming.
Sir, I came here on the advice of a person whom I hold in high esteem, and I must say that I expected anything but a drunkard's lair.
You're free to leave anytime, sir.
Do you know to whom you speak?
Stephen Webster, industrialist and art collector. All of Boston knows you.
Tell me, Mr. Pierce, are you capable of handling a new case, or are you simply a deadbeat inebriate?
If you come to me, it means you're desperate.
Nobody believes me. They take me for an old fool. Sarah, my little girl. She is dead. Even you must know of her. She was Sarah Hawkins.
The painter? Yes. Everyone knows her work.
The police accuse her of killing her family. They all died in a fire. Sarah, her husband, and Simon, my grandson.
I can't do anything for a woman who is already dead.
Find out the truth. They say she was mad, but I know that's a lie. She would never have done such a thing.
But if you have no proof...
I've brought all that I have. Look. I want you to look carefully at this painting. Tell me all the assumptions that come to mind.
What am I supposed to find?
Tell me if this is the work of madness. Or if, on the contrary, you manage to detect some logic, a rationality to follow so that I may understand it.
Is that all you want from me?
Yes, please.
All right. I'll look at your picture. That's all you've got? The painting?
I placed a file on your desk. It contains everything I have on the affair.
A warehouse on Darkwater. Some sketches of the Hawkins family. Rather thin.
Alright, shipping label, which is partially unreadable. Warehouse 36 Darkwater. Police report, which is basically showing that the fire started in the dining room and claimed the whole family's life. The police decide on a domestic accident, but they nevertheless insist on Sarah Hawkins' mental frailty. Now we got to ask ourselves why on that, of course. And then article written about the marriage of Sarah and Charles Hawkins, businessman from the island of Darkwater. Obviously reclusive. I can understand that. Alright, let's take a look at this picture.
Its strange beauty isn't enough to hide the feeling of dread it carries.
So, Mr. Pierce, what do you make of these elements?
So,
Darkwater. Never heard of the place. Where is that?
It's a small, remote island off the coast of Boston. Sarah lived there with her son and her husband.
I suppose you want to ship me off there.
Darkwater holds the secret regarding my daughter, Mr. Pierce. You must uncover it.
The sender's label mentions Warehouse 36.
That's right. It came with Sarah's last painting.
And you think your daughter could have been the sender?
That is what you must find out. Go to Darkwater. Find Warehouse 36.
You must tell me if what the police suggest about the mental state of your daughter is true.
No. Sarah had visions. Everyone knew that. She never would have hurt a fly. She only thought she saw things.
Saw things? What do you mean by that?
I never knew what she meant by that. My daughter was an enigmatic figure, Mr. Pierce. You must find out the truth about her life and death.
Her husband was a big deal on the island. But the police are sticking to the accident theory. Though they mentioned Sarah's mental state was fragile. I believe you are right, sir. This case is not as simple as it appears.
Of course it's not.
I'm aware of that. I believe there is more to this case than just an accident.
Yeah.
I think I'm beginning to understand.
I'm willing to do anything for my daughter to recover her honor.
Quiet down. I'm on your side. Let's sum things up. An artist dies with her family in a house fire. Your only clue is a sort of promontory painting sent from Darkwater right before her death.
Correct. And the rumors about her supposed folly.
Which you don't totally deny.
Find that warehouse. Find out the truth regarding Sarah Hawkins' death. You'll be handsomely compensated.
All right, I'll take the case. I'll go to Darkwater and look into the death of your daughter.
Thank you, Mr. Pierce. I didn't expect any less coming from a man in your situation.
Something's queer. But it's not like I have a choice. Darkwater. I think I've got a book on the North Atlantic. I'll no doubt find some. Darkwater is off the coast of Boston. But I've never heard of it. According to this book, it was often mentioned during whale hunting times at the end of the 19th century. But it seems to have been shunned since then.
Yeah.
All I have to do is go to the port. I just hope that I can find a boat able to take me to Darkwater.
That's all in here. Oh, wait.
I used to be an avid reader.
Yeah, never mind. Looks a lot like that guy from our nightmare. I'm on a boat.
Almost there.
Call of Cthulhu. Okay, Scylla. If nobody knows what Scylla was, Greek mythology. Scylla was something that it was like a Greek mythical monster. Lived on a
There's guys coming to unload.
It was on a mountain. It's always next to Charybdis.
Welcome to Darkwater Island, Mr. Pierce.
Why, thank you, Captain Fitzroy.
So, what wind brought you?
Does the Hawkins case mean anything to you?
A sad story that we would all prefer to forget. Charles Hawkins may have been a landlubber, but he was a good man.
And his wife, Sarah Hawkins.
A nice young woman, and a great painter. What a tragedy. You know what? Go have a drink at the Stranded Whale. What you need is a good pick-me-up. Mitchell may not be very welcoming, but his bar holds a surprise for you. As for me, you'll find me at the Harbor Master's office. If it's the Hawkins family that brings you here, I have a pile of documents that should interest you.
Understood. I'm going for a look around the docks.
So, our main objective is to talk to Fitzroy. Our secondary objective is either to go to the bar, or talk to Bradley. Of course, we're gonna, explore. Catching fish. Can't go back on the boat. But no, like, right whenever you're coming in, there's actually a boat over there that's up on the rocks that says Scylla. And in Greek mythology, Scylla was a monster that was up on the mountain and was usually right next to Charybdis, which was the great, swirling vortex of death with teeth in the ocean.
Let the police do their work. Hey, Sullivan. Can't you go any faster?
The blood is just beginning to coagulate. It died a short time ago. Only a specialist would know what killed it.
Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters! You're crazy!
The same goes for you, sir. Move along.
I'm looking for this address. Warehouse 36, Darkwater Harbor.
Ah. And so who are you?
I didn't introduce myself. Edward Pierce, private detective.
In any case, it's not very important. I can't answer that.
You can't? Or you don't want to?
Oh, no. I'm not getting into those games, me. Now, please, allow me to do my job.
Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters! You're crazy!
They're cops. They can't understand.
Damn stupid idiots!
Forget it. Nobody listens to us anyway.
That's no way to treat an omen.
Oh, yeah? He's gonna get us into trouble. You can't understand. You're not sailors.
And of course.
It's a sign. There's something coming. Something real bad.
What could have done so much damage?
Don't put that beast back in the water, you shysters!
What could have done so much damage?
Alright, that's all I can see
You
from
can't
there.
understand. You're not sailors. It's a sign. There's something coming. Something real bad.
Watch if you want. You can pick up the pieces.
Come on, you bastard! You'll see what a true sailor's got in his belly. You hear that?
Prohibition is just a joke around here. That suits me fine.
Oops.
This blackboard hasn't been used in a long while. Fishing equipment. Could do with some rust remover. The Scylla. It finished up beached at the entrance to the harbor. Broken. This place seems half abandoned. I wonder what Captain Fitzroy has got to say about this woman cat.
Man. It's only, you know, slightly falling apart.
This man and Fitzroy could be twins. What a macabre souvenir.
Yeah, that's a little bit. Woot. Well, let's do that one. There we go.
I've brought out the Charles Hawkins cargo manifests. They're on the table next to you. But in truth, you're likely to be disappointed. When you're done, come join me on the deck.
says they're on the table next to me. Oh, there they are.
These manifests are signed by Charles Hawkins. But that's all I'll get from them.
Wow.
Fishing equipment. Could do with some rust remover.
Don't guess there's anything else that can be looked at in here, so let's go talk to him out here.
From here, I see everything that goes on in the harbor. The hard-working lives of my sailors, the fights of the stranded whale. Even the antics of these wharf rats don't escape me.
It's you who lays down the law around here.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I'm just the last serving captain on Darkwater. Tell me what I can do to help you.
I'm just back from the wharves. The dead killer whale is unsettling the sailors.
Ah, yes. Us men of the sea are superstitious folk.
Killer whales don't have many known predators.
That's true. And normally, they're not found around here. But, you're gonna take me for a fool.
Give it a try.
Have you heard about the depths? Trenches that plunge into the earth and that shelter creatures unlike any other.
You're talking about mythology.
Indeed, you're right.
The police took the decision to put the killer whale back into the sea.
You've got to understand them. They didn't know what to do with it.
I think that was a mistake. Who says that whatever caused those wounds is no longer in these waters?
You think we should have kept it?
To look into the real cause of its death, at least. I was looking at your photograph. One of the man in front of the boat.
Ah, yes, I can see the one you're talking about.
Interesting resemblance. I thought it was you, but with a wooden leg.
And for good reason. That's my father in the photograph.
Your father?
John Fitzroy, captain of the Scylla. His wooden leg is here. You can go and see it if you're interested.
I found a threatening letter, signed by a certain cat.
What? I don't mind you visiting my harbor master's office, but I'd prefer if you didn't go through my affairs.
Are you being blackmailed?
Not exactly, no. That shyster wants to make us pay protection money.
With any success?
I wouldn't say that, but she terrifies my men as much as her own.
Can you not do anything to stop her?
Don't you worry about that.
Your manifests have been blacked out. They're totally unreadable.
Yeah, I saw that. I've got no idea who did it or why. I don't remember having countersigned anything special enough for someone to hide it.
And why obliterate the dates, as well as the goods stored in the warehouse?
You mean that the dates have some meaning?
I know that Charles Hawkins was descended from a family of ship owners, and the island's fishing industry was hit badly.
Indeed, we specialized in whaling, but no whalers went out to sea after the miraculous catch of 1847.
So where did the Hawkins family get its money?
Well, from what Charles inherited, I presume. Although, these dates on the manifests could indicate that he had contracts of another kind.
With whom, I wonder? I'm looking for Warehouse 36. Do you know where it is?
Look, it's right there. The warehouse is opposite the jetty. You can't miss it.
Understood.
You know who the building belongs to, don't you?
You tell me.
I thought you would have worked it out. It belonged to Charles Hawkins.
I see. That explains those loading manifests. Too bad I can't get much out of them. I think that somebody here wanted me to search this warehouse.
Alright, I think that that's probably enough.
I shall be on my way.
So come back and see me when you've got something new.
Give me a second, peeps. Sorry about that. I'm doing like 3 things at once, so I won't be able to stay on for very long. But at least want to get through this chapter. Alright, so we got to get inside Warehouse 36, and you know what, let's just go to the bar first. That's cute.
Hey, be careful. Let's get him another drink. He's dry.
In my bar, we don't serve troublemakers.
Yet you served this man, and you can't say he's been on his best behavior.
He's a regular. It was you who provoked him by turning up with your mainland manner.
You mistake my manner. I ask nothing more than to become a regular as well. Which will be difficult, if you refuse to serve me.
I hope you're less talkative when you're drunk.
Try me.
We'll see.
The Stranded Whale. I guess this bar has been here a long time.
What can I tell you? I'm a nostalgic sort of guy. The name, it reminds us of the golden age of dockwater. When our whalers left for long months and came back, sweating and stinking of the oil and flesh of the whales they'd been hunting.
It was a tough time, all the same.
Ah, but steeped in glory. We've never known such wealth since then.
What can you tell me about her?
We all knew she was famous on the mainland for her paintings. Never understood why. Then, I don't want to speak ill of the dead.
Her style made her famous. How would you describe it? Torture?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't normal. I mean, for a young woman with a child and all that. We saw them in the papers and we said to ourselves, who can paint such things? Is that how she sees the world?
So they made you feel uncomfortable?
You need to see them for yourself. Make up your own mind.
I've got what I need.
Anything else?
I didn't expect to find alcohol on this island. What's the source of this miracle?
You mean who? Our source of supply wouldn't like me to betray them to the first comer.
I'll tell nobody.
She'd know it anyway. Anything else?
I wonder who that could be.
What do you know about the Hawkins warehouse?
If I were you, I wouldn't hang around there.
Why not?
First off, there are rumors. Sailors from around here say you can hear noises coming from the warehouse at night. Screams, that sort of thing.
Screams?
And that's not all. There's the fate of its owners and all the superstitions that go with it. But I'll say no more. Anything else?
I guess sailors are really superstitious. I think that's pretty much all we need.
That'll be all for now. The miraculous catch. Apparently, the most significant event of the last 80 years.
Wow.
And the doctor, what did he say? He laughed. My God.
Nightmares. Can hear things and voices whispering. Will follow its reader and appear at various locations, gifted with its own consciousness, until it finds a new reader. Ah, that's it. Maybe we should let him take it. No, the risks are too high. It's a book, after all. Pure knowledge.
Do you like our song?
We're true sirens. We may not be pros, but we give it all we've got.
That's true. It's a reminder of the time when we were still fishing for whales off Darkwater Island.
I've never heard this song before.
Only people from here know it. It tells the story of the miraculous catch.
I saw the newspaper clipping. You don't believe it, do you?
Watch what you say, young man.
That cat saved our island.
Ah. Where's the proof?
We're the proof.
Without it, the whole of Darkwater would have died of hunger in 1847.
It's true. Everything happened just as it says in the newspaper report. Our grandparents tasted its flesh.
And it was delicious.
Wow.
What brought whaling to an end?
The whales, of course.
They all disappeared.
You exhausted the stocks.
You could say that, yes. There were fewer and fewer of them.
Until the last, the biggest.
The one of the miraculous catch.
Exactly.
I heard the Hawkins family owned a warehouse on the docks.
An old family of ship owners.
Tell me something I don't already know.
They were made much richer by the miraculous catch.
You shouldn't talk about the dead like that.
We're not speaking ill, we're just saying that Daniel Hawkins made a fortune without taking any risk.
There! You're speaking ill, you see?
It's your proof that the miraculous catch really did happen.
Excuse me.
I bid you farewell, gentlemen.
Good night, stranger.
So long.
What? Another break?
One of those damn sailors came looking for trouble again.
But he won't try again anytime soon. We gave him a good hiding.
Can't you see that we're in the middle of a conversation? I told you to beat it. I told you to beat it.
Guess my biggest question is, what if I don't want to?
Charles Hawkins was a heavy drinker. And a debtor. Interesting.
We're no longer at home on our own island.
Calm down. It's not worth the effort.
I told him, that flunky, that he'll see what a real sailor has in his belly.
If you continue like that, everyone will see what you've got in your belly.
I hope so. I hope they don't forget the lesson. Me? I'm not scared of some girl.
I mean they're going to cut you open, you idiot. Calm down.
Yeah, I didn't figure I could get back there.
They can't understand.
You didn't tell me that the warehouse I was looking for was right in front of us.
Because its owner is dead. And I don't want to see you hanging around it. Now please, leave us to our work.
You can't understand. You're not...
You didn't tell me that the warehouse...
Because its owner... And I don't... Now please.
You can't understand. You're not sailors. It's a sign. There's something coming. Something real bad.
What could have done so much damage?
You can't understand. You're not sailors. It's a sign.
Sorry, folks. I'm just trying to kind of investigate everything. Make sure I don't miss nothing. Yes, I know that's a double negative, and I don't care.
Damnation. Broken. It's no use. The padlock won't give. It's no use. The padlock won't give.
Man.
St. Brendan, patron saint of sailors and travelers. Desecrated. I can't even say which language it's written in. I've no idea what it says. I've no idea.
See what else we got around here.
You live here?
Why did you do that, huh?
We saw what you did to St. Brendan.
Yeah, we'll teach you to come onto our island and ridicule our protectors.
How can I be the one who defaced your saint? I've just come ashore, you idiots.
That's true. We're as drunk as lords.
You bet. You could have gone by without us seeing you.
Do not rile me. You can hardly stand up.
He's right.
We're no match. For the moment. We're annoyed. It's understandable.
There's you, our beloved statue, and then those two bozos behind us. Wait. Now that I think about it, it's got to be them. There's one of them who's always going back and forth to the statue.
Quieter. That's all we need for them to hear us.
What brings you to Darkwater?
That statue represents your local saint.
What do you mean by local, exactly?
You wouldn't be looking down at us, like all townspeople do.
St. Brendan. He protected whalers and fishermen like us. Until those assholes defaced him.
Peculiar house.
Yeah, that's where we live. Our boat.
It's not because it doesn't float anymore that we're going to abandon it.
Isn't it a bit early for alcohol?
We got nothing better to do anyway. There's not much work around here.
Fitzroy gives us a few chores every now and again, but since the whaling station shut down, ain't a lot of jobs left around here.
So we drink.
The two guys behind you. What are they guarding?
The bootleggers. Scum.
They're protecting their territory. From whom, I wonder?
They really don't have a choice anyway. They're more scared of Cat than an attack by drunken sailors.
If only they would kill each other.
Is it Cat who's shaking down Captain Fitzroy?
Hold on just a minute. We didn't tell you a thing.
Nothing at all.
Is it Cat who's shaking down Captain Fitzroy?
Hold on.
Nothing.
I've taken enough of your time.
We'll see you later. Well, well, look who's back.
Did you miss us?
I've taken enough of your time.
We'll see you later.
Where do you think you're going?
I thought that the Hawkins case had been closed.
That's true.
So what are you doing on guard duty in front of this warehouse?
Who's asking the questions here, the cop or the tourist?
What more can you say about the death of the Hawkins family?
Not much more than what everyone knows. I wasn't on the case. They were all burnt to death, right? Up at their place.
The whole mansion went up in flames.
Don't get it into your head to go wandering around up there. It's dangerous.
What do you mean by that?
The only one left there is old Silas, and the accident has affected him badly. He can be unpredictable, especially if a stranger starts poking around the property.
Is he a danger to the public?
No, he's in his own home. Do yourself a favor. Leave him well alone.
Let's go talk to these two idiots over here.
Come on, you could tell me.
No, if it gets out, I'll have serious problems with you-know-who.
I bet that you hid them somewhere in your hut on the docks.
Not even, and don't go looking there.
How could you be dumb enough to leave the entrance to the warehouses unguarded?
Keep your voice down. Why not go and shout at the cat while you're at it? I don't want to end up with her little knife under my throat.
It's a stiletto, you idiot. And with that smell on your breath, I don't give you much chance anyway. Who's this guy?
No idea. You better keep it shut.
Wait, we don't have a clip.
What's with you wandering around here like a hungry dog?
We saw you talking to the two soaks. Go die of thirst, the lot of you. It'll stink less.
Cat. She's your boss.
What? You listen through keyhole.
She's the boss, yeah. She says who goes in or not.
Shut up, you dummy. You wanted to know that you also talk too much.
She must be quite intimidating if she can make two men like you tremble.
She redid the smile at the last one who wanted to get in.
I hope he had a good dentist.
No, you don't understand. She really cut him a new smile.
But he only smiles with the left cheek.
So, who are you?
Are you stupid or are you doing it on purpose?
Everybody knows us on Darkwater.
I've just arrived.
Let's just say we're standing guard for the owner of the site. And we let no one enter her property.
I went to see the statue of St. Brendan.
What makes you think we did it?
We're bootleggers, not savages.
Who do you think defaced the statue?
What do I know? They could have done it by themselves.
The sailors?
Who else, in your opinion? And who's interested?
She sounds frightening, your boss.
And she doesn't like to be talked about behind her back.
I've got to enter the Hawkins warehouse. I guess it's going to be complicated.
No, it's very simple, in fact. Fuck off.
I don't give a damn about your racket. I just want to get into this warehouse.
And we don't give a damn about you. Whatever your reason for wanting inside, there's nothing we can do for you.
Guess I could lie, but I'm just gonna...
I bid you, gentlemen, farewell.
I'm not gonna do it that way. You know, it might help if I went the right way.
He's gonna get us into trouble.
You saw what happened with those sailors. Don't hang around here unless you want trouble with the bootleggers.
This warehouse looks abandoned. Why does it interest them so much?
No doubt a question of territory, but I ain't asking. You want to know more, go ask the captain.
Good. Thank you. I've seen the kind of messages their boss sends. You're not scared of her.
Of course I am. Everyone's scared of that woman. She's not interested in small fry like me. You, on the other hand, nose around too much, you'll have dealings with her.
I shall take my leave.
Alright. I want to see what happens now if I go and talk to her again.
I told you to beat it. I told you to beat it. I told you to beat it.
Something happened.
I told you to beat it.
Well, I guess nothing happened.
You again. What can I get you?
Charles Hawkins owed you a lot of money. Do you know if he had problems?
I don't know the details, and it's not my business. Money or not, he was always welcome in my bar. The Hawkins family was always much appreciated on the island.
I read the article on the miraculous catch. Interesting local folklore.
Don't get it into your head to repeat that round here. It's more than folklore. On that day, the crew of the Scylla caught an exceptional catch. The biggest whale ever caught. And they saved Darkwater from the famine.
You seem to know Charles Hawkins well. How about his wife, Sarah Hawkins?
Well, she was a local somebody. We all knew she was famous on the mainland for her paintings. Never understood why. Then, I don't want to speak ill of the dead.
Her vision, was it so terrible?
Way I see it, the truth is really a question of point of view.
What do you mean by that?
Do you still trust the truth after a bottle of whiskey?
I've got what I need.
Anything else?
That'll be all for now.
Guess let's go and talk to Fitzroy one more time.
You're back again. What can I do for you?
Apparently the bootleggers don't want anyone hanging around the warehouses.
They're part of the private property I mentioned earlier.
And yet the place looks abandoned. Why guard the entrance?
As a precaution, I suppose. All the warehouses are more or less interconnected by old sewers.
You mean that there's a way to go from one to the other by tunnel?
I couldn't tell you if it's still the case today for all the warehouses on the island, but I think I can imagine what you've got in mind. You can always visit them if you're not the claustrophobic type.
Man. Sorry, I keep yawning. Alright. One more thing to check on. And no, there's nothing there. Alright. So let's go check and see if Fitzroy is correct.
A handle. It must come from these old winches. This ratchet device seems to be usable. A whale vertebra. If the newspaper clipping in the bar is true, this bone is a real fossil. An old cogwheel. Rusty, but in working order. I could use this old winch to lift the grating. Looks like everything is in its place. All I have to do is turn this handle.
Going down.
Smoke. It's coming from this oil. I hope it's not toxic.
Well, toxic, maybe not, but I'm gonna say, hey Scarman, how you doing? Thank you for the likes, the hearts, whatever they're called.
This is primitive.
Call of Cthulhu.
Oh, this place stinks.
Of course it does.
What is the connection between this place and the Sarah Hawkins case?
No, I'm still working all that out.
What happened here?
Obviously, somebody punched this.
These painkillers were prescribed 3 months ago. Someone has been taking them since the time of the Hawkins death. It smells as bad as it looks. Can't sleep. I know how that feels. What is this picture of Charles and Sarah Hawkins doing here?
Looks like somebody was chilling out here, possibly feeling some, possibly having some issues.
Is this one of Sarah Hawkins' paintings?
Wonder what that dude is. It's pretty neat. Pretty neat. Oh, I'm just into chapter 2 right now.
Someone has settled in here.
And whoever it is has something to tell me about the Hawkins case. Is there anyone in there? You! Don't move! Detective Pierce. I told you to stay away from this warehouse.
Wound up? You mean messed up?
Dog. We don't take no lessons from the likes of you. We do our job carefully and fairly. No stone was left unturned.
Really? Can you explain what this painting is doing here?
This strange portrait. Wait, I know it.
It was in the Hawkins mansion when we came to investigate the fire.
So you confirm that it was removed from the crime scene? Interesting. I'd like to go and see the mansion now.
Of course. You want to go back along his trail? I'd like to understand how this painting made it to here. Come on. My car's parked down the way. Andrews, would you please shut the door? Open your eyes, damn it. This guy went right under your nose.
Yes, I did.
God damn it. Her again. This case has nothing to do with you, Baker. Clear the passage or I'll shut you up for obstruction.
Officer Bradley, you've finally grown a pair. Too bad you're too fat to see them down there.
Why, you?
Come on, keep the smile. You don't want to force me to widen it.
Okay, I get it. Can we go to the mansion now?
Who the hell are you? What were you doing on my turf? I've got my eye on you. We'll meet again.
Ooh, I'm so scared.
Is it far, this mansion?
Look behind you, at the top of the ridge. You see the building? That's the Hawkins mansion. Come on, we got some driving to do.
Oh yeah, there's a scar right there. So far, it's just basically the question I was asked is, so do I have any weapons, or is this a stealth game? So far, it's just more of an investigative game. There's really no need for weapons at this point. Maybe we'll get some, maybe we won't. I have no idea.
Well, here we are, Hawkins Mansion. The place has been abandoned since the fire. There's only old Winchester in his hut.
I see no scorched trees or fire damage on the building.
You're pretty damn observant, ain't you? The fire was quickly contained. Old Silas acted as soon as he could.
Not soon enough to save the Hawkins.
They were trapped in the drawing room. And don't go troubling Silas anymore. His guilt torments him enough as it is. Are we gonna take a closer look at this mansion, or do you have other questions?
Night falls quickly here, and I want to be able to see when we arrive.
I'll go with you, if only to reassure Silas.
Why not? You can help.
Right. Let's go.
This now I've played through part of this. This is about where I was before. I lost track of him after a little bit, but I just like exploring, making sure that I, take a look at everything. Random chair. Man, the scenery's great.
Someone is using the fireplace. I suppose that this is where old Winchester lives.
I didn't know about that. Trying to make sure I don't miss something.
Recently fallen. It's as if all life has abandoned the place. Sturdy and well sharpened.
Maybe I'm able to go. I want to say I can go get that axe, but let's go check, make sure.
$1693. This house is much older than it seems, but the architecture seems too recent.
I laid me down and slept. I waked, for the Lord sustained me. Psalms 3:5. I'm gonna have to stop here in a minute. I'm yawning so much that I can't really. I keep having to mute it. Didn't get very much sleep last night. Been awake for a while.
Poor kid. Someone must really hate Charles Hawkins.
I told you. Silas Winchester is still watching over the Hawkins family.
I must say, it's pretty gloomy.
So, Detective, does this place inspire any thoughts?
Do you know if Charles Hawkins had any enemies?
Not to our knowledge. He was a well-respected personality on the island. I don't understand. Silas would never have let such a thing happen.
Is the caretaker still around? Evidence here suggests he is.
It's surprising indeed. Let's try to keep our eyes open.
Why were they buried here?
I was given to believe that it was Charles Hawkins' wish.
Strange idea. I imagine Webster wasn't too pleased.
Mrs. Hawkins' father? It's said that he's devastated.
Let's go to the mansion.
Please give me a minute. I didn't expect to set foot back here after the burial. What kind of deranged individual would defile this sanctuary and steal a burnt painting? I don't see Silas.
The flowers on Sarah Hawkins' grave are fresh. The old caretaker must be very attached to her. Poor kid.
I got 3. Do one right there, one under strength, and do that one. Watch the Silas dude be up here and pull a gun on me or something. Oh, hi. Game was saved. Oh, well.
The axe is gone. I'd better be on my guard.
Oh yeah, definitely.
The axe is gone. I'd better be on my guard. I'll have to find another entrance.
Really boarded that up, didn't I?
This entrance is still in use.
Whoa! Whoa! You were trying to force the door, you nosy prick!
Easy, sir, all right? Put down the axe.
You know what we do with rubble like you? We gut them! Dump them into the ocean!
You're Mr. Winchester. Lower that axe. And let's talk calmly.
I'll show you how we have it out on Darkwater.
Sarah Hawkins' father sent me here to investigate the death of his daughter.
Webster, huh? I understand how he feels. But me? I want the dead to rest in peace. And that means kicking the ass of gumshoes like you.
Why would you not want me to help understand what happened here?
I've got nothing to hide. Tell me what you're doing here. And no baloney.
The police report describes a domestic accident. But Stephen Webster has several reasons to believe that this may not be the case.
Webster is as stubborn as an old mule. And I did tell him that we should let the dead rest in peace.
He wants to restore the reputation of his daughter. I just need to see where the fire started.
The mansion isn't safe. You would break your neck as sure as you're trying my patience right now.
That's why you barricaded the entrance.
That's right.
And this door?
It's locked. And I make sure it stays that way.
You still put flowers on her grave. You cherish her memory.
Mrs. Hawkins was an exceptional person. She cared for everyone around her.
Let me shed a light on what happened to her. Give me that key.
I'm probably making a big mistake, but it won't be the first. Here, take the key and do what you have to do. Go on, then. Just to get rid of you.
Let's see what more I can learn from this mansion. This gate is locked.
Yeah, I know I'm going off the beaten path, but listen, I just want to see if there's anything around here, any secrets or something like that maybe I missed. Can't go up there.
Bourbon. Empty, of course.
Hopefully I won't get, like, cut in half by the old dude.
The poor wretch seems to spend the best part of his time isolated from the world. Rather Spartan. The caretaker has simple tastes. I know a thing or two about solitude myself.
Guess I can't go in. Oh well.
Pierce, shall we enter?
Let's take a look inside.
I'm with you.
Into the mansion we go. See the shadow to the right. Foreshadowing with a shadow. I gotta say, I really like this game. It's pretty neat.
Follow me. I know the place. Who left this light on?
Man.
The Last Supper of the Hawkins. What does this tell me? What kind of meat is this? This place is for the head of the family, Charles Hawkins.
Doesn't look very happy.
The boy was probably here. Smashed his plate on the floor. Sarah Hawkins' plate. Why did she leave it untouched? Something happened at this table. An argument?
Probably.
Hey, Pierce. Daydreaming again?
Working, officer. This dinner table tells us a lot about the Hawkins family life.
Well, we don't have all day. The scene of the fire is next door. Silas managed to bring the fire under control, but it was already too late for the Hawkins.
Sarah Hawkins and little Simon. The perfect picture of the middle-class family. Sarah Hawkins and little Simon. The perfect picture of the middle-class family. Charles and Sarah's wedding was painted by Sarah herself.
Don't really see anything negative about this, really. Looks like pretty neat.
Was Charles Hawkins some kind of explorer? Too much rubble. I'll find an easier way. Let's see if I can find something the cops missed. The child's corpse left a trace. Where are the others? Was Charles Hawkins a heavy drinker? They had a fight. Why? Did Sarah Hawkins lose one of her shoes? How? Did it stop at the time of the fire? If the painting I found on the docks really came from here, how come it didn't burn? Did someone escape the fire?
Curious.
Blood. This lamp was thrown. This was no accident. This was a fight. Someone fell here. A desperate attempt to flee.
Satisfaction brought it back. Sorry.
So, Detective, what do you make of it?
I firmly believe this fire was more than just an accident.
What's your theory?
Someone deliberately set fire to this mansion.
You sure of that?
There's only one way to be sure.
I just ask that you don't disturb anything. If Chief West found out about what we're doing, I'd be in serious trouble.
This door is locked.
History of medicine.
These bandages are covered in dried blood. But whose?
Somebody got cut or something.
The lyrics of the drunken sailor, a sea shanty.
Well, will you do with it?
This door is blocked from the outside. An original edition of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, dated 1818. An original edition of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, dated 1818. Moby Dick, Melville's classic. The epic battle between man and whale. Mandatory reading for any whaler, I guess.
I would think so.
This piano is in disrepair. Looks like the Hawkins kept it more for decoration than for music. This piano is in disrepair. Looks like the Hawkins kept it more for decoration than for music. This place was falling apart long before the fire. This place was falling apart long before the fire. A book on the first inhabitants of the island. It seems they got here around the 14th century. There's something disturbing about this painting.
Well, it kind of looks like a giant hand coming out of the ground. Sort of.
20,000 leagues under the sea. Another story about the mysteries of the deep.
All those kinds of stories is enough to make anybody paranoid, really.
A book on hunting whales, the island's staple diet last century. Dark water history. This place was settled back in 1692 by two families that seceded from the New England colonies.
Sorry about that. My ringer's not turned off like I thought it was.
Greek mythology. Hecate, goddess of the dead, daughter of Tartarus, and mother of Scylla. Greek mythology. Hecate, goddess of the dead, daughter of Tartarus, and mother of Scylla.
I don't want to say anything because I don't want to look stupid, but for some reason it kind of seems like to me that looked like Hecate.
Greek mythology.
Yeah.
Hecate, goddess of the dead, daughter of Tartarus, and mother of Scylla.
Oh well.
What could Sarah have done to make this person threaten to call the police?
Dear sir, as you know, I've always held you and your family in high regard, or high respect. Unfortunately, I can no longer continue to close my eyes on the behavior of your wife. Last week, she again terrified my clientele. I know that she means no harm, but you should place her in the care of Dr. Fuller. He alone seems to make her come to her senses. Of course he does. If these disturbances were to recur, I think he means reoccur, believe me that, although it would feel like torture, I would be obligated to involve the police. Of course you would. Anton Welder. Oops.
Locked.
Of course it is. Creepy.
The boys' room. A child's fort. From what threat was Simon protecting his world? Tom Sawyer, Mark Twain. Sarah must have read it to him before bed.
Hold on, people. My cat wants out. Hear me grunt a little bit, it's only because I've got a bad back. And getting up is pain. Whoa.
Sleeping pills. Strong for an 11-year-old boy. What was wrong with this family?
Plenty, obviously.
What nightmarish vision could have inspired them? Simon's troubles went beyond family problems. That kid saw something. Something terrified him. The argument that led to their tragic end seems to have been simmering for some time.
Man.
What was going through that boy's mind?
See, there are some things in here. See how I have the check mark on that question mark? It means I've pretty much gotten everything. Occasionally, I like to make sure that I really got everything. I got a key to the office.
This door is locked.
No. Really?
What will her room reveal about her?
I would have to agree.
Barbiturates. Sarah Hawkins must have been extremely agitated, resorting to such a treatment. This padlock is too complicated for me. It's no use. The padlock won't give.
Of course. Oh, well. Every home office needs a, Lovecraftian summoning circle. Yep.
The door is blocked on the other side. Despite what happened, they seem to have loved each other. This ledger lists all of the paintings Sarah Hawkins sold.
Man, not bad.
It seems the last one was given for free to a Francis Sanders. I wonder why. Sarah Hawkins' agent was getting worried. Seems she wasn't giving any signs of life.
See here. Ever since you left to bury yourself away on Lost Island. Basically, ever since she went into pretty much a life of solitude, her paintings started bringing out more collectors. Basically showing her percentage of the sales, and to not forget who recognized her and brought her forth for the world to recognize. Yeah, of course. love people like that. Don't forget who found you. Yeah. All because you have so much.
Was Sarah Hawkins interested in the occult? What was she trying to achieve?
Got 3 more. One for that, one for strength, one for spot hidden.
Bradley? Is that you? Is anyone there?
Yay, I finally got a lantern. Don't have to use a damn lighter. Wow, that looks just like dude right here.
You! Stop! Bradley, did you see which way he went?
Who? I didn't see anyone. I just heard some noise. Are you all right?
A man was hiding on the upper level. He ran when he saw me. He can't be far.
Yeah. Dang it.
I'll cover you.
Of course you will.
This door was closed earlier.
Where did he go?
It looks like an old seaway map.
Huh.
They look like Celtic.
Do you really think that your fugitive
Charles
came in
must have
here?
brought them back from one of
I don't
his
see any
voyages.
way.
This Dr. Fuller. Was he Sarah Hawkins' therapist?
I understand your worries, but I assure you that Sarah is in good hands with the Riverside Institute. It goes without saying that the state requires very specific care and high level of attention. Her full potential will only be able to express itself if she is placed in a secure environment and surrounded by qualified staff. Decision is yours, of course, but I seem to understand that you are running out of time.
Ow.
Seems like this came from a log.
42 north, 70 west, Darkwater Island. 47 north, 55 west. Showing different locations where they went, what they did. Wow.
There must be a link with the seaway map. This globe seems to have been part of some mechanism.
Huh.
Doesn't work. I must have missed something. As if the bookcase has been moved several times. Clearly, Charles Hawkins knew Captain Fitzroy very well. I wonder who the man with the glasses is. It looks like a freehand map of Darkwater. Certain areas have been highlighted. I wonder why. The Scylla. It's the boat that was stranded at the entrance to the harbor. This panel is movable. Cogwheels. They must be linked to an opening mechanism. Probably a secret passage. I must find a way to activate the opening mechanism. Great. I managed to force the gears. Looks like I've triggered something.
Well done, Pierce.
That was kind of probably a little bit cheap, but you know. Alright, so obviously it's in this room.
Why are these letters here, and not with Sarah Hawkins' belongings?
Got it. Alright, let's go. Alright, chapter 4. I think that this is as good a place as any to go ahead and stop for the night. I really do appreciate everybody who, stopped in, watched for a little bit. This was probably my most successful stream, so I really appreciate. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. But I will be doing a part 2 of this going forward. Probably do about another 2 hours of it till we get through it. But until then, I will see you in the next video. Y'all keep rocking, and have a good night.